Welcome back, sailors. I'm James with Motion RC, and today we got an overview video on one of our latest releases from Bancroft. This is the HMS Hood 1/200 scale RC battleship, and absolutely stunning. This was one of the most requested battleships since we started our Bancroft lineup of battleships. You know, we got the Missouri, we got the Bismarck, obviously important to this one. We got the Yamato, we got so many of them. The Hood was always one that a lot of people wanted, and I'm excited to not only have it available for you, but to have it on the table here in front of me and have been able to now have it in the water, because she is an absolute stunner. So for those of you who don't know, the HMS Hood, obviously the Royal Navy, this was like their flagship battleship. It was commissioned, I believe, in 1920, just after World War I, and it really served as sort of like the pride of the Royal Navy during peacetime, and then in World War II, it was probably already too old by the time it got to that war, and then it met up with the German Bismarck in the battle for the Denmark Strait, and she was sunk. I believe one of the one of the missiles or the cannons hit the munitions on this thing, and only 3 survivors came off the HMS Hood. So it is one of those, tragic ships, but obviously with a lot of history behind it, and to see it represented here as, not only an RC ship, but like basically a beautiful scale model as well, is absolutely stunning. But before we get into the ship, I just want to show you what's in front of you. This is basically everything that comes out of the box. The beauty of these ships, you don't have to do really any work. With this ship, you're just putting on the turrets. Like, they give you all these cannons and the smaller cannons, on the side, and you basically just rest them on, but all the rigging and everything's done. You get a battery, which is a 2S 2800 milliamp pack, and that's going to give you plenty of sail time. You've got a charger with the power cord, so you just plug that in. It charges through the balance tap, and there's lights on it. Since it's a 2-cell pack, when you plug it in, 2 of those lights will be red, cells 1 and 2. They'll turn green when it's charged. Then you also get a pistol grip transmitter. Now the transmitter, very simple. Again, with these ships, the only thing you're controlling is the rudder for right and left, and then you got the trigger for forward throttle, and you can also reverse. The reverse feature obviously doesn't look scale when you do it, but it is a necessary thing if you're ever anywhere in a lake, a pool, you're heading towards danger, you don't want to break your expensive model ship. You could quickly reverse and, get out of dodge, if you will, and protect. But the transmitter itself gives you the ability to trim the steering, gives you ability to change your rates, your dual rates on top for the throttle, and you've got a switch that's going to give you high rate rudder or low rate rudder, depending on how you want to sail. Now, as for the boat itself, this entire superstructure comes off, and there's 4 screws, and they all hide behind and live behind these 4 cannons on this side. I only had 3 of them. I don't have 3 of them screwed down. I just had 1 screwed down, so you don't see a gap. I just had it resting on top. But let me just unscrew this while we talk about it, and we'll show you inside. Now, as far as ballasting this ship, again, I like to use bags of BBs. You'll see inside, but with this one, I probably used about 3 pounds of BBs to ballast it. And obviously, the amount of weight you use depends on where you place the weight and all that jazz. What I like about the bags is you can flatten them, and you can move the weight, sort of shift the weight around to make sure it doesn't list to side. So that's really important. But as far as looking inside the ship itself, you've got 4 motors to power the 4 screws. We'll show you that back here in a little bit. I place my battery directly down the center right here. You've got an on and off switch. They already have the ESC and receiver mounted on the side. Little access point gives you access to the servo for the rudder, so if you ever need to replace that, very simple. And then this back hatch back here, that's going to give you access if you, for some reason, break the horn that controls the rudder back there. You can fix that if you need to. I couldn't imagine that ever breaking. I don't think you're ever going to be in a situation where that's going to happen, but hey, you never know. At least you have easy access. But as far as ballast itself, I really only needed to put the weight here and here. So I have about 1.5 pounds here, maybe 1 pound here and about 2 pounds here, because the motors and most of the weight inside the ship is back on this point, so you need a little more to the front. I didn't have to, Sometimes you have to put some ballast and get it all the way to the front. I didn't need to, but if you did, you might need to use less weight because again, weight disbursement depends. But you can see, again, absolutely stunning. Then when you're ready, when you're all done, so if you're at the lake, you plug in your battery, obviously your transmitter's turned on, you turn the on switch, and then you will have to, you know, place your superstructure back on top. You'll feel the screws, you know, sort of find their holes, and then you're just gonna have to drive them all home. I'm not gonna waste your time screwing them all down now. It takes, you know, a minute or two to do it. But then these four, you know, cannons will go back and they hide the screws because the screws will get driven down. Like right now, I can't press it all the way down just because the screw's not all the way down. But when the screw's all the way down, they fit in nice and flush and you're really good to go. But just taking a look at the detail, what I love about these Bancroft ships is, you know, they're hand assembled at the factory. Like all this decking, when you get one of the battleships with the wood decking, that's real like plywood. It's gorgeous. All the railings are brass. There's a lot of brass parts. Obviously, there's plastic. All the little parts of rigging, that's all done for you. I mean, that's a pain. I couldn't imagine trying to build this by hand and how much time it might take you. But taking a look underneath, you've got again, the 4 screws and the rudder just up close. Those are going to be metal screws, and they're always like gold plated. They look really, really beautiful when out of the water, and even better inside. And then you do get the stand that this comes on. It comes in 4 pieces. You just have to press them together. I always add a little CA just so they don't fall apart. But again, it works beautifully as both an RC ship or a scale model. A lot of our customers have found Motion RC because of these ships are just scale modelers. They don't care about RC, and they've been loving these boats. So if I hadn't said it already, it's 1/200 scale. It's about 51 inches. And it's a stunner. And we do carry a Bismarck as well. We've done a video on the Bismarck, so you can check that out too. So if you want to have them, you know, together in a lake, then you have that option. But all around, a beautiful representation of the Royal Navy's, of one of the Royal Navy's flagship ships, if that makes sense. And just happy to have it here, you know, as far as it's compared to all the other ones. It just, you know, it has its own history with it, and that's what we love about it. But guys, if you have any comments, questions, please leave them down below. If you like these videos, I actually hit the like button and subscribe. We're getting close to 100,000 subscribers. If you want to purchase this boat or any other ones, check the link in the description to this video. And as always, guys, we appreciate you for shopping at motionrc.com, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.